So this film has a vibe of its own. Hi guys, this is Farhad and welcome back to my channel Popcorn Reviews. If you're new to this channel, then please smash that subscribe button now. And as a video ritual, remember to like and comment on the video. Liking and commenting helps fuel the YouTube algorithm. And it is only a couple of days before that I had made, a video on the report card of the Malayalam film industry from the months April to June in that quarter. And I actually had mentioned in that videos that I may have missed out on a few films that were actually released theatrically, but I could not watch it due to accessibility issue. One of that film is the Malayalam film that I'm going to be talking about in this video, which is Moonwalk. Now, Moonwalk was one such film, that absolutely is a vibe of its own. Before I get to the review, a little story time. I am a 90s kids, 90s kid, you can say, 90s kids, okay, 90s kid, you can say. And my watershed moment as far as dancing came in the form of Hrithik Roshan when I saw him dancing on the big screen in the film Kaho Na Pyare, which was released in the year 2000. And that actually step of that Ikpal Ka Jeena song became an absolute rage, and everyone was performing at the birthday parties. Yes, we had birthday parties without social media in that day, in that era. So the thing that I want to mention is that it's a parallel kind of a concept that Moonwalk deals with, particularly when you are introduced to one of the characters. When he's asked about his inspiration of dance, he immediately mentions Mithun Chakravarti. That is the disco era of the early 80s. I think that is when he's grown up in. The character per se is in college, so probably his childhood formed early part of his 80s, only for the Michael Jackson era to start in the late 80s, which is what the film continues on. Now, ask any 80s kid. I am not an 80s kid, as I said, I'm a 90s kid, but ask any 80s kid and they'll tell you the rage of Michael Jackson, the singer, the performer, especially when he did the moonwalk for the first time in the video Thunder, which released in 1987. And that is the transition era that the film is catering to, and it's, as I said, such a bloody vibe, I would say. So coming to the story and screenplay, it's a simple story. It's a one-liner story. If I have to just say, it's a group of youngsters, a group of boys who actually fall in love with dancing and want to participate in a dance competition. This is a one-liner story that is there. Here, though, the dance competition is almost used as a subgenre. That is not the destination of the film, which transitions into, say, a slice of life film or a coming of age film, something that you also witnessed in the film Alappuzha Gymkhana, which had a similar kind of a premise of a bunch of youngsters who are completely aimless in life, still in college, still finding their feet in life, but actually realizing their potential by the end of things. Here, though, the conflict, or rather the ambition, comes in the form of dancing here. So in a scene, you actually see them, playing around with a VHS tape, which is, the recording of the Thunder song by MJ, Michael Jackson. May his soul rest in peace. But MJ was a rage back in the day, and because there was no social media and the accessibility of the videos was a bit of a hassle, the only way to play the video was in the form of a VHS tape, which is a thick tape that would come in, and you just need to write it in the machine. So there were brainstorming in that, and everyone was giving their inputs on how they must play the tape, and that actually added to the innocence and nostalgia of the film as well, I would say. And there was a certain sense of innocence, even when the recording started playing, and it was almost skewed, it was almost neon painted kind of a frame where you couldn't see the video of Michael Jackson per se at all. And that is the struggle of the 80s kids, and to an extent the 90s kids, once the VCDs and DVDs started coming into. Today's kids will just not know what a scratch on the DVD is meaning to the 80s and 90s kids. The video wouldn't just play, it will just be spoiled. So that was the kind of innocence that is there. But if I have to really sum up what the vibe of the film is, besides dance that plays an important character, yes, there is this one scene, and it's a fleeting moment early on in the film in which there are a couple of characters who are arguing in a bus. Now, when you see them arguing, it's a pretty regular kind of a scene, but when the camera zooms out, you actually see a lot other people who are riding together in the same bus, and not everyone is interested. Some of them are yawning, they're least bothered or oblivious to the fight that is actually taking place in the bus. And it's a verbal fight, it's not a physical fight, it's a verbal kind of an exchange between two characters. That is the vibe of the film. The town is pretty much laid back and leisurely, while slowly, waking up. The youngsters rather are waking up to the breakdance era which is there in the late 80s, which is not so much true for the rest of the town. They're just normal people living their normal lives, least bothered about dance or anything of that sort, and just concerned with their own individual lives. And that adds to the social and political fabric of the filming of the story that is there, as far as the film is concerned or the drama is concerned. And that makes for a very there is a slice of life kind of a vibe to these instances as well, which eventually formulates the fabric of the tale. Yes, the center stage is dancing. You actually witness the bunch of boys who like they are like a group soul, like the birds that are flying in the sky. They are like a group soul, and they are enamored by the dancing. All of them have love at first sight, you can say, when they are actually looking at the dance for the first time. A bunch of performers who are actually grooving to that music which is there. So that was the love at first sight that they actually witnessed and fell in love with the art of dancing. Now, there are other fleeting moments as well. Since this is a subgenre, it is, as I said, the destination is not necessarily the dance competition. There are fleeting moments. There are moments like the romantic moments, like in a scene you see a character bringing a sketch of a frog as a part of his college assignment for the love of his college or love of his life at that point of time, you can say, only for the sister of that sister of that girl to actually tell him to make a sketch of an elephant in front of everybody. I think that was a hilarious moment. Another scene, you see a character whose hand is injured and he goes to the hospital only to find love at first sight as well. And I think that's again moments of innocence and frivolousness of youth, that adds to the storytelling technique. The social and political commentary further is inundated with respect to two characters. One is that of Anubhav, the actor Anubhav, who comes from a humble background. Now, he's not a extremely poor person as far as other characters are also concerned. He's a decent middle class, lower middle class to middle class kind of a character in a household wherein his parents, particularly his mother, want him to study to eventually be successful in life. But his love lies elsewhere in dancing, which is where he's distracted, and he dances pretty well here. The other character here is that of Sibi, who is literally like a miscast in the group. If I have to call it an underdog story, I think it would be the germ of that character would be Sibi, because when you're first introduced to the character of Sibi, you actually see him almost given the duty of just playing music, only for him to discreetly vibe to the music and the beats of the film. In another scene, you also see, him being given canvas shoes, and we call it canvas back in the era, not sneakers. So canvas shoes he's given, which is a upgrade from the slippers that he dons, normally. So, and in another fleeting scene, you see that his character, character and his family sit on the floor to consume meals, which tells you a lot about, a story. There's a story within a story that is there, which eventually leads up to that arc in that finale, which is absolutely brilliant. And because you're invested in that journey all along, that finale becomes sweeter also to a very large extent. But largely the vibe of the film is about the punk looks, the hairstyles, the metal hangings from the ears, all of which add to the pop culture of that late 80s era, and that defines the fabric of the film. There is no hook per se in the screenplay. It is based on the vibe. It's not a perfect film, but it still deals with that vibe, and that gives you a lot of satisfaction as far as the screenplay is concerned. Now quickly coming to the technical aspects, the dialogues, the music, and the direction, I felt the dialogues are conversational but very much in sync with the vibe of what the film stands for. And I think that makes for a pretty solid watch as well. I think the music here is also very peppy and almost a nostalgic trip from the late 80s. It almost transports you into that era. Even the BGM is peppy, and the grooves, the beats are actually there, which will actually make you also vibe to the songs, and that was pretty impressive. I was so impressed also by the choreography, the dance choreography, and this is a technical thing that even Bollywood can take a leaf out of. The dance choreography seems very organic to the plot, which basically means that it is raw to start with, but it doesn't transform into something that is totally unbelievable as a part of a montage sequence. No, the montage sequence isn't there. It's a gradual process of improving with respect to the characters, taking up dancing and learning the art of dancing, to eventually that finale, which is absolutely hits the roof as far as the impact is concerned. So the frames are such that they are organic. They are not transformed over a few reels in a montage sequence like they've perfected dancing. I think that is something that Bollywood and even other industries are slightly guilty of. They can take note of that. Now the editing, I feel editing is slightly on the looser side. I feel I wasn't particularly impressed with the scattered editing, because there are far too many jump cuts when the dance sequences are on, and I think because they are such wonderful dancers here, you didn't need so many fast cuts in the dance sequences. When someone's dancing, there's a cut shot to the audience reaction. That wasn't required in my case. I think you could have given one alternate shot anywhere, or a split screen, or if you had to show the reaction per se, but otherwise the focus could just have been on them, and it could have been a pure one take, because the dancing was top notch. Top notch means top notch. And so I think the editing was a little bit of a hit and miss for me, personally speaking. Although the direction by A.K. Vinod was phenomenal here. I think he did a wonderful job in creating that vibe and using that vibe as a tool for the world building and the characterization. The characterization, by the way, also adds texture to the drama with respect to the looks and the nostalgia factor that is there. It all contributes to that storytelling, which is wonderful to witness. The simplicity in the direction is something that reflects in the drama as well. You don't need those elongated sequences or dramatized sequences, so to say. Life is simple and was very simple back in the late 80s, and that is reflective in the direction here as well, which is wonderful to witness. Coming to the performances, I think the performances are wonderful. I think the girls, Harshita or Sanjana, all of them, Meenakshi, also all of them do a wonderful job here. I think the parents, Shrikant Murli and Veena Nair, were also very competent, very well done with their sincerity. The boys, Siddharth, Manoj, all of them, I think they are fabulous dancers per se, and you were, some part of you were also, invested in them as far as the emotional quotient of the film is concerned. Two stand-up performers though, Anubhat, who plays the character of Jake, and Sibi, who is that the other character who's from a low strata of the society. Those two are wonderfully written characters as well. The emotional driving points of the film are these two characters, and there's something quietly charming about both these characters, that they demand your attention as far as the emotional core of the film is concerned. And I think that is something that makes Moonwalk an absolute double thumbs up. It's not a perfect film, I must say. It's not a perfect film, but it is still a film that deals with so many vibes that it actually, has a place in your heart by the end of things, and I think that is the victory for the director, for the filmmakers, for the producers, for the actors, and everybody involved. Moonwalk is absolutely a nostalgic drama which is dipped in the 80s breakdance era, you can say, the cultural breakdown era of the 80s. I would say it's a wonderful watch. It's available on Disney Plus Hotstar, or now I can call it Geo Hotstar. And I would like to recommend it. It's pretty good. Not one of my favorite Malayalam films, I would still say that, but still a worthy watch. If you have watched Moonwalk, then let me know your take on it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? How was the theatrical response? Remember, I did not have a theatrical response, and that final sequence was worth that theatrical response, I would say. I would so have enjoyed that finale, that dance finale on the big screen. I think with the sound, surround sound, that would have hit differently, in a theater. I would totally imagine that. But if you witnessed it, let me know what's your take on it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Remember, any engagement, remember to like/dislike and comment on the video. If there are any recommendations, throw me that as well. You can share this video with your friends and family. Any sort of engagement helps a small creator like me. My detailed review of Moonwalk is available on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S, the link of which is in the description box below. Also remember to follow me on different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd and Nokia. Everywhere available. The captions are everywhere available. The links of all the latest reviews are available on my social media platforms. If you directly like to go to my website, Popcorn Reviews with a double S. Remember, double S is our brand, link of which is again in the description box below. All the latest reviews across languages you will find on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S. I'll see you again soon with another video. In case there are any recommendations, let me know by then. If I get time, if I have a little time, little bandwidth, I'll definitely try to squeeze in videos. And if I'm little away, then I'm really sorry in advance. I'll try to be a little more regular with these videos, but I am trying my best. Work at times can be a little overwhelming, but it is what it is. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I hope you're enjoying watching the videos that I bring to you as well. And so that is it then. Thank you so much for all your love and support, and keep watching the videos. I'll see you soon with another video. Till then, take care of yourselves, and thank you so much for your love and support. Cheers.